because I'm the content king. Here we are, walking down a hill. Trying to be safe since I still haven't been able to locate a chain, what's it called? Not a chain, lock ring for my cog. All the other ones are too big or too small, something like that. So I run the risk of my cog slipping off every time I ride my bike, unfortunately. But it was feeling kind of weird. Don't know if it's because I've only ridden my bike a few times since last Thursday. It's Thursday again, the 10th. But my sister's dog went home yesterday. I've only ridden like 4 times maybe, something like that. Mostly been walking, so I don't know if it's because of walking and not riding. Usually not what happens when she comes to visit, or if it's just the heat, or my outfit, or because I got my seat at a higher, nice, appropriate level before I left the house. That just feels weird, or it could be multiple things. So the last 20 minutes, 20 minutes, I felt odd, so I decided to just walk down part of this hill, not all of it, just till I get to the CHP. There's a little break and it's just straight, then it goes into another smaller descent, but I don't want to risk accidentally pedaling backwards. I should have my chain whip because I've been leaving it in my backpack, but just in case it got taken out, I had to rummage through my backpack the other day for a tool, so just in case I didn't put it back in, didn't want to get stranded. But if worse comes to worse, I could always go to the bike shop because I'll be passing it in a few minutes. I do need to go there, talk to them about fixing both my back wheels. Just waiting because I finally got most of my PayPal credit delinquent fee paid 605 of I think 775, so there's only like, or something like that. It was 700 part, could be wrong. It was 700 something, so now it's only like 150, somewhere between 127 and 157, I forget, somewhere in that range. So I'm very glad. I would have had a little money. I could have paid the whole thing, but I ended up accidentally scratching the racing vintage BMX I sold right before the guy came to pick it up because he was local. And then when he got home, he had to use a bunch of tools, power tools, to get the back wheel off because it was seized. So initially he asked for 150 back, and I was like, sure, I understand. And then he explained what happened with the wheel, so I just tossed on another 50 because that way it was that. Well, he seems cool. I may have found him a decent vintage BMX yesterday for free to sell. I would have gotten it, but it was in San Francisco, so I don't have a car. He does, so I just tend to listen his way. I wasn't sure if it was actually vintage or not, or if it was like like some kind of throwback, or if it was even a good frame or not, because the lady who took the pictures, she just had it propped up, right side up, in her garage, and then she just took a side angle. She just had one single side angle picture, so I said hit her up, see if it's worth it, because she was just too far away. She backed up just enough, and it was enough to the right that I personally was unable to tell the company, because it looked like it had a badge on the front tube, but I figured, because I guess I ignored his message, because he initially hit me up after I don't know if it was before or after he hit me up on eBay, but he hit me up on Facebook Marketplace. So that's how he met. So when he went back home, instead of messaging me on eBay, he just went through Facebook Marketplace, because he still has, even though I deleted the listing, neither of us closed the message, or maybe I responded, I can't remember. I didn't even notice until later on. I think he had offered me $650 and possibly some weed. I'm not sure if he was offering me weed or 2 weed pineapple cakes. I would not be surprised if he was a stoner though, because even though he's like 50 or 60, he seemed, the way he talks and acts and how excited he was, good thing I was prepared for that. That's why I usually don't ride on the sidewalk. But there wasn't good enough. I was gonna go off the sidewalk at that driveway because it seemed like the easiest place. But luckily, since I'm over 6 foot and I have all legs, no torso, all I had to do was put my foot down and hop off. I just kind of did a foot plant off the curb, or the sidewalk, because right before I saw him, I was thinking, I hope there's no cars that come out of here. I usually don't go on that sidewalk unless I have brakes. Luckily, we both saw each other because he did slow down. But I think he looked left first. I was more so, I wasn't really looking. Once I saw the truck, I just looked at the sidewalk and the ground to see what I could do. Definitely didn't wait long enough though. And he may have slowed down a little, looked left, and didn't think about the sidewalk, and then was driving. Then he looked right and saw me. But it's all good. I don't criticize if they stop. he was quick enough that I gave him the seal of approval since we dang it. And now my seat dropped. Now I gotta deal with that. So much effort. At least it dropped right here. And nowhere else. Finally got my belt on Monday or Tuesday. Finally remembered. I saw it and I grabbed it before I left and just put it on my bike. And then dealt with it later to get it to feel right. Because these are smaller BMX handlebars, kind of awkward. So I just put it at an awkward angle to hit it with my right hand. Even though left-handed, not a big deal. It's crap, moved again. There it is. Yeah, it's not loose. Good to know. Good thing I had a little TED talk with you guys. I was so excited for the length of the height of my seat. That was weird. That dude on I think it was a guy. The guy or gal rode their e-bike down the car side of the overpass and came over here. Kind of raining. Now I'm there, so now I'm like all the way that tight. Hopefully it stays tight. Might have to redo it and do it this height again. I just need to get a proper seat post clamp. I'm pretty sure this is the seat that can post. I think this is the seat post that came with the bike. Seems like it from the scratches and the markings. The non-scratch markings for height, I think it has some inches. Only seat post I know of that I had was the one that came with this bike. So I think it's, unless I'm wrong, so I think it's a seat post problem. But being this high up is nice. I haven't done this in a while. Slightly over the handlebars. Premium leg span. I usually don't really care as long as my legs aren't too bunched up. Since I ride 20-inch BMXs sometimes, anything is decent. Because usually when I ride BMX, if it's not a 26-inch, I usually stand the whole time and sprint. Sometimes I'll sit, but then I got the goofy 80s to 90s full throttle seat going on. But it does work for being 6'3". Makes it a little more comfortable. Depends on my feelings. I'm on like a 20 to 40 mile ride on a 20-inch BMX, or 10 to 40 mile ride, I'll prop up the seat. But if I'm cruising around town, with or without the bus or any other transit, I'll just keep it pretty low, as you might expect. Maybe a little higher because of how long my legs are, but sometimes slam if I'm in the mood. All depends. It took me forever to get out here just because I felt funky. Drank a bunch of water. Not sure why I felt funky. Of course, the day I drink water, I feel weird. For the first 10 to 15 minutes, I feel alright now. Not sure what that was. Heat related, or it might just be the position of the box, or the position of the box with all the straps on my backpack and my